It's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter.
U.S. President Donald Trump publicly threatened a major American news network's broadcast license after one of its reporters pressed him on his family's business dealings and the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. It happened during what was meant to be a carefully staged White House photo op with visiting Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. ABC News chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce asked Trump directly about reports of the Trump Organization pursuing deals in the Middle East, including a luxury resort development in the Maldives with Saudi partners. Trump insisted he had nothing to do with the family business, which is now run by his two eldest sons. The reporter then turned to the Saudi crown prince and asked why Americans should trust him when U.S. intelligence concluded he ordered the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. A visibly irritated Trump jumped in to defend the prince, despite CIA findings linking him to the 2018 killing.
Mr. President, is it appropriate, Mr. President, for your family to be doing business in Saudi Arabia while you're president? Is that a conflict of interest? And Your Royal Highness, the U.S. intelligence concluded that you orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist. 9/11 families are furious that you are here in the Oval Office. Why should Americans trust you? And the same to you, Mr. President.
Now, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You're with who?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news. ABC fake news. One of the
But the
worst.
question is
One of the
legitimate,
worst
sir.
in the business. But I'll answer your question.
Thank you.
I have nothing to do with the family business. I have left, and when I've devoted 100% of my energy. What my family does is fine. They do business all over. They've done very little with Saudi Arabia, actually. I'm sure they could do a lot. And anything they've done has been very good. That's what we've done. We've built a tremendous business for a long time. I've been very successful. I decided to leave that success behind and make America very successful. And I've made America more successful by far than it ever was, and that it ever could have been, no matter who was president. There would be nobody bringing in $21 trillion, that I can tell you right now. As far as this gentleman is concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
And then came the trigger. The ABC News correspondent Moments later asked Trump about his long-scrutinized ties to late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, a subject Trump's camp has aggressively tried to shut down for months. But the U.S. president was having none of it and said,
It's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You start off with a man who's highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question. And you could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psychs you over at ABC. They're going to psych it. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter. As far as the Epstein files is, I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert. But I guess I turned out to be right. But you know who does have? Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, who ran Harvard, was with him every single night, every single weekend. They lived together. They went to his island many times. I never did. Andrew Weissman, I hear. All these guys were friends of his. You don't even talk about those people. You just keep going on the Epstein files. And what the Epstein is a Democrat hoax to try and get me not to be able to talk about the $21 trillion that I talked about today.
However, this did not end there. Trump then publicly urged the head of America's broadcast regulator to review and revoke ABC News' broadcast license for running hoax and fake news. He then pointed straight at the reporter and declared, "No more questions from you." But this is not an isolated clash. Earlier in November, Trump called another female reporter Piggy when she asked about Epstein. And in recent months, he has repeatedly attacked media outlets questioning his business ties abroad, especially in regions where the Trump Organization has pursued new deals. We will continue to track this story, but do share your thoughts on it in the comments below. For more such videos, Stay tuned to Mint.